Well, I went to town today and I went on a bit of a spending spree. At least for me, not a big thing, but I thought it'd be interesting to go through this because the stuff I buy is not the stuff that people normally buy. So it's always difficult for me to find what I'm looking for. But I can work it out. Got 4 more gallons of turpentine to go with 4 more coats of pine tar. Because this is, I'm wrapping up some projects. I need it. And I don't like to get in a situation where I can't find it all of a sudden. Got a gallon of WD-40 because, I use those hand sprayer deals. And I noticed it was the last one they had in there. So I figured, okay, I got to buy it. Or next time I'm looking, I won't be able to fill my hand sprayers. I don't know. Them chickens can't stand me talking. Some tarp mender. This tear mender stuff, fantastic on tarps. It really works well. It's an old product. So I got more of that. But I lucked out too. Last time I was in there was only one tarp left and it was like a 5x7. They must have found an 8x10 someplace in the back room. Here, this was out today, the only one. Now, the 8x10 is the one I use, that size to cover the machine. So, that one I'll put away to have extra. Just to have it on hand. Because you never know, maybe you'll never be able to find them again. Bought a couple of axe handles. Because like I've said before, it's easier to find an axe head than it is a good handle. So, whenever I always, when I'm in there, I look at the handles. If there's some good ones, I buy them. That's why if people complain, they go in and you can't find a good axe handle, it's because people like me who buy the good ones. Oh, and I got another pitchfork handle because I found another fork that needs a handle. And I got all my cans full of fuel to have on hand. And I went to Napa and I bought this Castrol heavy duty. I use that in a motorcycle and any of the small 4-cycle engines, air cooled. I use this heavy duty 30 weight. This stuff, it's just a conventional oil. But this is getting to be close to $8 a quart now. But it's what I've always used on a motorcycle, and I've got a lot of miles on a motorcycle. I like this oil. It's just that I can only find it in Napa, not all Napas. But I found they carry it there. So I got to have that on hand. And I also, when I was there, I got a speedometer cable for the 47. Not that I'm tearing at outrageous speeds, but it's nice to know how fast you're going. And, yeah, assembled in Taiwan from casing made in Japan. But I do rather trust the Napa stuff, compared to, like my brother ordered one that in theory is coming out of China. He ordered it like 2 months ago for a Chevelle. Still waiting on that. And it's probably not going to be a very good cable when it gets here, so I trust Napa better. But then I went and got wiper blades for my 47 because I'm going to put their windshield in. If I put their windshield in, I don't want to run bad wipers on there because the ones that are on there are old. And they're a funky little 10-inch wiper. Now the problem is, you can't buy wiper refills anymore, just the refill blade. They end up trying to sell you new wipers all the time. there are Trico wipers on there. They used to be common. You could go, any gas station, any full service gas station had a display rack of wipers, and they had just the refills. And a full service station, they would check if you needed a wiper. It cost you like $1. They'd slip the new blade in. It was no big deal. Now they want to sell you brand new ones. At least these are metal, but this clip is plastic. And that is, I see them all the time with plastic arms and plastic springs. They don't work in this cold weather. They break right away. So you end up buying new ones and buying new ones, and there's a million different ones. I really like the way they used to do it, where you could just, you got a blade, a good blade, you just replace that refill. You could carry spares in the cubby hole. Now it's got to replace the whole thing. And they've got all these different special ones for snow. It got nuts. When it used to be just that display rack, and it had what you needed, cheap. But that's just the way it goes. But they have gone away completely from refills for wiper blades. You got to buy a new whole blade, and then hope you can figure out some way to make it work on your arm. My scheme is to try to get that filler out of there. I think I can, and put it in my Trico blades, the arms. Now, this is another purchase I made. I hadn't been, I've always kind of kept my eye. I like just a single shot 12 gauge, Stevens, a 94B. I really like single shots, and really like for bird hunting, single shot really is all you need. You get one good clean shot, really. Though I did hunt doves once with a guy with an automatic 12 gauge. That was expensive meal that was. Because you can blaze away, but you got one good clean shot, and that's where single shot comes in nice. And I don't run into these anymore. They used to be real common, but you hardly see them anymore. But just a nice practical gun. And at the moment I don't happen to have a single shot 12 gauge. I got a couple pumps. But 2 3/4 chamber that I reload for, so be cheap shooting. It's got a little bit rusted around the end of the barrel here. But it's nice like this receiver here. It's that color case hardened. And the wood is in good shape. It's got a good butt plate on it. Nice gun. And one of the things I like about these, they're easily broken down where it just snaps off. So you can easily conceal it. Just handy to carry it this way. And handy for cleaning. But just a good gun. I was glad to run across a little over $100. They probably sold for half of that when they renew. But I do like. I used to have an H&R years ago, but that was a little harder to take down. I like this that just snaps on there. But that was my spree. But I'll take this out, play with it someday. And that being 2 3/4, that's what I reload. That's what I'm used to. I like that Maverick has got a 3-inch chamber in it, but I really 3-inch you don't really need in a 12 gauge. 2 3/4 fine. So this will be a good hunting gun. And like the salesman said, by God, it's ambidextrous. Doesn't matter which way you push that lever to release it. Which is, like H&Rs have that button on the side. I think, to me, that'll be a little more intuitive, that side button, but anybody used to running a double barrel, that's a pretty common system. But, nice long barrel. Chickens are busy massacring each other. They got to get involved. That's just the way a chicken is. But I'm pleased with this. Haven't really bought a new gun for a while. I kind of got everything I need. Like I say, I didn't really need this. But there's a certain purity in hunting with a single shot that I can appreciate. Plus, fairly light, got a good long barrel on it. No idea, I think it's just a straight bore. I don't know that there's any choking involved in this thing. I think it's just a cylinder. But nice gun. And like I say, you very seldom run into these anymore. I don't know why that is. You know, it was nice when H&R was still in business. You could buy a cheap gun, great for somebody's first gun. What I thought this would be handy for is a lot of times, like if we're going to go hunting and there's somebody turns up, somebody extra needs a gun, well this would be, it's always a good fallback gun. And it's one you can, you know, carry in the vehicle and not worry about. Can't really beat them up much. Though, like I say, the wood is in really nice shape on this one. You know, normally my first thought would be to pine tar and get rid of this, but geez, too good. I'll just leave it. Though I'll probably clean this up here where the rust on the end, you know, it's pitted a little. I'll just clean that up and re-blue it with some of that liquid blue that'll work on that. But all this case hardening is nice. Don't know when it was made, I'll have to look that up. 94B should be easy enough to figure out. Like that though. You know, they're an easy gun to carry. And like I say, there's a certain purity in a single shot. Well, that was my main haul for today. It's all stuff I'll use, you know, but it's kind of what my shopping list usually looks like. The only battle is going to be with them wipers. I'm hoping I can make them work, but they weren't that expensive. But like I say, it used to be you buy a refill for like 99 cents. Now you got to buy a whole wiper, the whole contraption, for like $8. You know. And then, you know, like where it says on there, exact fit. I know darn well that wouldn't be an exact fit on the 47 Chevy. You know, their whole method of hooking this on is going to be altogether different. So I'm hoping I can just slide that blade out of there. That's the plan. But it was hateful being in town, but I'm satisfied with my purchases, and that's the main thing. Just hopefully I won't have to go back for a while. But that shotgun, I kind of like that. Big fun for, I like shooting clay pigeons and stuff too. Just a single shot's a nice thing. You really, you know, you get too concerned about that follow-up shot. If you time it right, you really don't need to be concerned. You don't need a follow-up shot. And you can slip another cartridge in pretty damn fast if you have to.